earlier this week, late last week. I mean, it's kind of just understanding the plays, talking football, kind of reiterating them same plays they had just taught me over the phone call back to me, and just kind of getting to know who I am off the field too.
Next up is Luke Easterly, followed by Mark Cook.
Hey, Ke'Shawn, welcome to Tampa. You're joining an offense that, like you said, not only has Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, but 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, a brand new first-round pick at right tackle. What do you bring to this offense, and how excited are you to be a part of an explosive offense and a team that's ready to make a Super Bowl run?
I mean, I'm happy as hell to be a part of that. This offense, this team, this organization, and then, like I said earlier, I believe that I'm an explosive back too. So that's kind of something that will help this offense develop a run game, and then you can throw the ball based off that. But I feel like the run and the pass game can now work hand in hand.
All right, next up is Mark Cook, followed by Ed Encina.
Hey, Ke'Shawn, welcome to Tampa Bay. How do you, 2 quick questions. How do you kind of view yourself with this class of running backs? Your name probably isn't as well known as some of the bigger name guys. How do you kind of compare yourself or rank yourself as far as that goes? And also pass blocking ability, a big thing that Bruce Arians wants from a running back if they're going to be on the field, particularly on 3rd down. Where are you as far as that goes?
I mean, honestly, I would rank myself the best just based off my 2 years in the SEC, let alone. But I know a lot of depends on what school you go to and all that kind of plays in with all this too. But I don't consider myself one of the best just based off numbers. But can you refresh me on your second question?
Ability, pass blocking ability on 3rd down, where you're at, how comfortable you are as far as that goes.
I'm very comfortable there. Now knowing that I have Tom Brady as my quarterback, I got to be even more serious about getting that done and taking that more seriously. As far as knowing who I got on certain plays, making sure my technique is good at all times. Because that man that's throwing the ball, we need him at all times.
All right, next up we have Ed Encina, followed by Luke Easterly.
Hey, Ke'Shawn, a 2-part question here. How much do you think you developed as a pass catcher the past couple of years at Vanderbilt? And, you mentioned Tom a couple of times. I mean, how excited are you to kind of, not just work with him, but know that how much he relies on throwing the ball out to running backs?
Just as far as like developing as a pass catcher, that's something that I had to get natural with. Could always catch, but wasn't naturally a receiver just based off like high school. I ran the ball all the time. And then converted to college, you gotta get more involved in the pass game. So I've been getting comfortable with my hands. I catch all the time as far as jugs and everything. Any extra work to get better as a pass catcher. And I don't even remember the second question. I'm too happy right now.
I was asking just about, you mentioned Tom a couple of times. How excited are you not just to play with a guy, obviously a guy known as the greatest of all time, but just knowing, how much he relies on his running backs and that, potentially you get a lot of balls and a lot of opportunity to show what you can do.
I feel like that's the best opportunity that I could ask for as far as getting drafted in this class to be in a situation where you got Tom Brady as your quarterback who loves to hit the check down routes. Them could be big yardage plays that we could capitalize on any moment for real. But like Tom Brady's the GOAT, so you playing one of the best quarterback of all times. Can't do nothing but be happy and ready to go win some games for him.
All right, next up is Luke Easterly, followed by David Harrison.
Ke'Shawn, you mentioned that, comparing yourself to other backs in this class, that, it can very much depend on what school you end up going to. But, you played in the SEC and you put up big numbers against some of the best defenses in college football. What does that say about your ability to translate to the NFL and keep doing the same thing against top competition?
I mean, it's kind of just a mindset thing for us, how you attack the game and how you really prepare and look at your opponents. I feel like it'll be kind of easy for me transfer everything from college to football, as far as learning playbook, anything, but like mental toughness, like any of that really all matters, like within yourself and how you view your opponents and how you approach the game.
All right, next up we have David Harrison, followed by Greg Allman.
Hey, Ke'Shawn, following up on the collegiate experience, you had some pretty decent production there at Illinois early on in your career before moving over to Vanderbilt. Do you feel like having 2 years of pretty solid production in 2 Power 5 conferences gives you an edge over some of the other running backs in this class?
Yes, I'll say that is true. Just because experience is one thing, that's kind of something that could separate me too. Cause I'm a 5th year senior. Kind of some of these guys like 3rd year, 4th year guys. So I got more experience on the field. Then kind of more, you could say more aware as far as like football wise. Not knowing who is aware, like knowledgeable of the playbook or any kind of football talk, but I feel like that's something to separate me experience. And then I come from a team who ran the NFL kind of playbook. So that's one thing that would help me also.
All right, next up we have Greg Allman.
Ke'Shawn, you talked about developing as a pass catcher at Vandy. Bruce was talking about how he likes his backs even to be able to line up at receiver and run route. Did they have you working as a receiver in some plays at all, Vandy?
Yeah, this past year, that's when I started doing more like empty, kind of slide routes, option routes, little stop routes from the X position. That's kind of what it was, option routes and like little stops.
Anyone have anything else? All right, I think that's all we got. Ke'Shawn, thanks for taking the time today.
Appreciate y'all.